afternoon. How are we all doing? And welcome to my budgeting live, my Friday budgeting live. And today we're going to be talking about the real cost of running appliances. Now, due to the electricity issues that we have in this country, as far as the bills and stuff are concerned, people have been getting very, very concerned about how much it costs to turn on the lights, etc. Now, I can tell you this, that there are a lot of different news outlets and newspapers and websites that have got a lot of little blurbs, and today we're going to be looking at a few of those, and I will let you know which one I trust and which one I don't. What you will also find down in the description below is a link to the Citizens Advice Bureau appliance cost calculator, where you can put in, oh, pardon me, I've just finished doing a cooking video with Bam. You can put in your specifications of your appliance, and it will show you about how much it's going to cost to be running for however long you need to be running it for. Okay, so I would, if you want an accurate look at what your specific appliance is going to cost to run, I would go and use that calculator. And like I said, the link is down below in the description. Now, I will say one little thing before I start. I may have to run off for 5 minutes at some point because I'm expecting a delivery and it hasn't been delivered yet. So Sod's Law states that it will turn up while I'm live. So I will probably have to dash very, very quickly, but I will be back as soon as I possibly can be. Like, obviously, I'll keep the live going, and I will, just turn my camera off while I go and have something there that you guys can read while I'm not in the room. So, how are we all doing? Are we doing okay? That's what I want to know right now first. Are you doing okay? How are you feeling? How are you doing? And how are you coping? So if you're in chat right now, feel free to pop up in chat and let me know. So what we're going to do first, we're going to have a look at a couple of these little blurby things. Now, this one, I would like to say, I'm a little bit more, oops, wrong way, oop. I am more inclined to follow this one than I am others at this point. The reason being, it has been put out by Ofgem. These are prices that have been checked out by Ofgem, and that's more important than a newspaper somewhere that's decided that it's just going to put out whatever it's going to put out, right? Okay. Now down here, it's got appliance single use times in hours. Now it goes from seconds and minutes to 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 24 hours. Okay. I have to admit, I spent an entire day looking at these things, and by the time I finished looking at them all, my head was swimming. My head was absolutely swimming. Blobby thing being on the small side squints. Sorry. Okay. So up here we have kettle, coffee maker, and microwave. The kettle for a single use, if the kettle is filled, is 8p. Coffee maker for single use is 5p. Microwave, 5p. So that's for your average minute in a microwave. Okay. And for a hairdryer, 15p. Now, the interesting thing about this one as well, this hairdryer, the round dehydrators, they cost the same as the average hairdryer to run. This cost for the hairdryer is only for about 10 minutes. So if you're looking to run a dehydrator that runs at the same kind of level of electric as a hairdryer, you're looking at 15p for about 10 minutes of usage. Okay, so there are other ways of dehydrating, and in other videos, I will go through some of those over the next few weeks and months and stuff. Okay, so I'm trying to make this as big as I can, guys. I'm really sorry. So what we've got here is the iron. Now, I don't know about you, but I gave up doing ironing when my kids were little. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I know there are people out there. Yeah, I'll shave before getting a hairdryer at this point. Do you know what? The only thing I use a hairdryer for is shrink wrap and drying paint. That's all I use it for. I use it in my artwork, okay? That's all I use a hairdryer for, and it probably gets used for less than that. So, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, an iron, they've got it here for half an hour. So half an hour's usage for an iron is 81 pence. Now, if that doesn't give you a reason not to do the ironing, I'm not sure what will. Again, I don't use an iron. The only thing I use an iron for is for sealing certain pieces of artwork, and also melting wax for batik, because that's how I was taught to do it. So that's the only time that I use an iron. But our iron hasn't even been unpacked yet. We moved back in May and haven't bothered. One thing I use an iron for is seams on thick hoodies, as they dry faster and don't smell stale. Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah, that definitely would work. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got the electric hob versus the gas hob. Now, again, they've got this going for half an hour. Okay. Now, an electric hob apparently costs 85p, 86p, sorry, for half an hour's usage, and a gas hob 29p for half an hour's usage. So yeah, gas hob is definitely cheaper. Yeah, but here where we are, where we have the solar panels, we tend to use the small electric hob that I've got, and I use that during the day because it obviously we don't pay for that electric because it's during the day on the solar panels. Whereas, you know, any other time I would use the gas hob rather than the electric. Electric drying rack. Does anyone have an electric drying rack? Is that like the electric drying towel dryer or something? Because this one really confused me, because it's not something that you'd find in everybody's house. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that I can think of as an electric drying rack would be like a towel rail in the bathroom. And they've got it here for about 45 minutes. And for 45 minutes, it costs 12p to run. It's cheaper than putting it out. Well, I suppose if you got the radiator on, it's not going to cost you any more to warm your towel on, is it? And then we're down here. Aldi have them for sale. Oh. If I had to find mine, my hair would be dry. Lol. I have seen those, and they do seem to have potential for larger families, at least. Way less wear and tear on clothes than a dryer. Yes. Yes. There is that. There is definitely that. So we're at an hour here. So single use time in hours, we're at an hour. For heating, we have a plug-in electric heater. For £1.04, which is 2.5 times more than it did in last winter, with 1 hour of electric heating costing 42p. This year it's going to be £1.04. That's pretty horrendous, I'm not going to lie. Main reason I started to iron hoodies versus dryer years ago was actually not price of electric, but to save the fluff. You know what? Going slowly nowhere, that actually makes a lot of sense. actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the vacuum cleaner for an hour costs 10p. Okay. Don't know about you. I don't vacuum for an hour. I don't vacuum for an hour. One, my house isn't big enough to vacuum for a whole hour, which is really good. And number two, I obviously I can't do anything that takes me more than 10 minutes. So if only costs me a penny to run my vacuum cleaner for 10 minutes, that makes me a happy girl. Yeah. So the electric oven with the fan for an hour. That's the shoulders for that. I know, right? It's like, who's doing vacuuming for an hour? How big is your house? Because if your house is that big, you've got someone else doing it, right? Okay, so yeah. Still, though, there are options that you don't have to use a vacuum cleaner. You can get a carpet sweeper, the old-fashioned carpet sweeper. I actually prefer carpet sweepers. They're a lot lighter. They're a lot easier for me to move around. And I can just run it over the carpet every day while I'm walking through the house, just like, oh, let's just get that little bit, or we'll just get this little bit kind of thing. And they don't cost anything to run. So, and I grew up with them. My mum had one and, it was great. So what have we got next? We've got electric oven with fan. £1.04 per hour. So if you've got a roast dinner going, which could take up to 2 hours, you're going to have to put that £2.08 on top of the cost of your roast dinner, because that's what it's going to cost to cook in an electric fan oven. Hi, Annette. How are you, darling? I have one of them, moving in gift to my first home, 1982. You mean a carpet sweeper? They're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I swear by them. They're great. Washing machine, 55p an hour and a half. Okay. I'm not quite sure where they got that number from. And the reason I say that is this. And I will say this. When I lived in Devon, which was 5 years ago, okay, it was costing me 79p a load to put the washing machine on then. Okay, so I'm not sure where this number comes from. All right, that was a brand new washing machine, but that's how long it took to do an hour and a half load, or an hour load in there, which cost me 79p to do it. I'm not sure about this number. I don't trust that number. Okay, I just want to say that right now. I don't trust that number, to be honest, because I know what it cost back in the, 5 years ago to do a load of washing in Devon. Yeah, I can't say that I trust that number at all. The tumble dryer, that's closer to the mark. That sounds off. What's the cost for 1 kilowatt in UK at the moment? Okay, I will have a look. We will have a look. Let's have a look. I think part of it at the moment, okay, so a kilowatt at the moment costs around 18.9 pence. 18.9 pence for a kilowatt of electric. So I'm not convinced by that. I would say it's probably closer to what the tumble dryer is, personally. That's my thought on it. If anyone knows any different, if anyone's got key meter electric and can tell me what it costs for them to do a load of washing, please do. I would really like to hear from you so that I can upgrade this and we can have a more accurate thing. But like I said, I would expect it to be more along the lines of what the tumble dryer is saying, to be honest, because it used to cost 95p 5 years ago to put a load in the tumble dryer. Yeah, for about an hour and a half. That doesn't sound right to me. So for 2 hours on a game console costs 21p. See, this is where I get a little bit antsy. Getting rid of our tumble dryer, going back to using clothes air, clothesline and sunshine, can put air out under the patio in winter. Perfect. But that makes your wash in Devon a mystery. It does. It does. But like I said, it depends on what company you're with as well, a lot of it. And that was while we were on prepaid electric as well. So we were on a premium rate as it was. That's why I'm confused by this. That's why I'm confused by this. I really am. Yeah. Yeah, and the temperature, the temp one washes on. This is true. I mean, like I used to try and do cold washes wherever possible. Obviously, the household stuff I used to put on a hot wash because obviously stuff in the kitchen's a bit greasy and all that kind of thing. So you want to have it on a hot wash. But I tended to soak that stuff first anyway. And I'd soak it for a couple of hours, like overnight in a bucket with some nappy cleaner because that seemed to do the job. So, yeah. And then it'd just go in a normal wash because you didn't have to put it on the hot wash. I've always used a cold wash, even when I had a top-loading washing machine when I was living in Australia, which I so wish we still had one. And I so wish this country had room for them in their, houses, because honestly, they are a back saver, let alone anything else. Right, so we're down to 2 hours now. So media, games console costs 21p for 2 hours play. Now, I don't know about you, but most people I know who plays on the gamers that I know tend to play for at least 3 to 6 hours, sometimes more. Some of them play overnight. Some of them have 24-hour runs. It's, if it's only germs, that is the reason to do it warm. Steaming works wonders. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, so you're probably looking for a decent gaming, session. You're probably looking at around 6 hours. And so that would then be about 63p, apparently. So there we go. Now, the dishwasher for a 2.5 hour run is £1.04p. But again, that confuses me. Hi, Claire. How are you doing, darling? That confuses me again, the dishwasher, because the dishwasher runs the same way as the washing machine, uses less water, but it's the same. See, this, I was having a conversation with a mate of mine, and I couldn't understand because you had two machines with the same wattage or kilowattage, and they were costing more or less than the other one to run. So it didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me because it doesn't make logical sense at all. It really, really doesn't. So yeah, dishwasher costs £1.04p for a 2.5 hour load. Something to think about. Now, TV for 3 hours costs 16p. But a slow cooker for 3 hours costs 47p. See, this is the other thing I don't understand. And this is where my brain goes a little bit down the rabbit hole, okay? And I'm not going to go completely down the rabbit hole. So don't get worried or anything, right? So you've got a TV that runs on a certain kilowattage, which is actually more than what it costs, what it is to run a slow cooker. And so, but the slow cooker costs more to run for 3 hours than a TV. So I will wave a carrot in front of you if so. Thank you. Thank you. So this is where I get confused. Okay, you've got these machines that do literally the identical thing. So the washing machine, the dishwasher, right? One costs twice as much as the other one to run, but they're literally the same machine, but with a different insides. So they run on the same kilowattage. They do pretty much the same thing. Washing machines don't dry though. The dishwasher does. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Do you know what I mean? You've got machines that have the same kilowattage as other machines that cost 3 times as much to run as other machines. And it's like, this just feels wrong. It feels wrong. And it doesn't make logical sense. So my brain kind of has a bit of a melting moment. So yeah, there you go. So for the slow cooker for 3 hours, costs 47. If you were doing the same job on an electric hob, it would cost you copious amounts more. Okay. Where's my phone? Here we go. I'll get the calculator out, because that cost there for the electric hob is for half an hour, right? So if we put that in, times that by 6, then you've got how many hours? £5.16 for 3 hours of putting something on the hob. So it's definitely worth using the slow cooker rather than the hob. Same with the gas. 29p times 6 equals £1.74. So definitely worth using a slow cooker rather than the hob if you can get away with it. Okay. Oof. Electric lights for 5 hours. Now it doesn't make this again. It's very ambivalent, and I don't like ambivalence when it comes to things like this, because it says electric lights. Now that doesn't say how many lights it is. It doesn't say whether it's one light. You know, could be interesting to get one of those plug-in power monitors. They're around 15 quid here last time I checked. Would think similar in UK. Yeah, quite possibly. We've also got smart meters as well, so we can do that if we want to get one of those in. So this here is this electric lights. Is this LED strip lighting in the kitchen? Is this room lighting? Is this LED bulbs? Is this normal bulbs? Is this the lamps? What is this? Because this here is very nondescript, and all it says 26p for 5 hours. Is that if you put on every light in the house, or is that just for one light in the house? You know, I know it says lights with an S, meaning more than one, but how many is more than one? Do you know what I mean? I don't like ones like that. It just, no. Okay, 6 hours of putting the phone on charge is a penny. Who knew? 6 hours of electric blankets, 31p. That's not bad. Not gonna lie, that's not bad actually. I don't use an electric blanket. We have a 15 tog quilt that we've just bought, duvet that we've just bought. And to be honest, even though it's getting quite cold at night here, I'm waking up and having to kick it off because I am sweating. It's like, no, get off. So, you know, yeah. So I'm not sure I could deal with an electric blanket, but yeah, it's 31p for 6 hours, which isn't too bad actually, but most people sleep for 8. So yeah, electric blanket may sound a bit low, but it may be one of the newer ones, darling. I think a lot of these numbers are for newer items. You have solar panels now. Awesome. Solar panels are definitely the way to go. Definitely the way to go, hun. Seriously. If you've got daylight, use solar panels. Sorry, there's lots of people walking past. I keep thinking it might be the postman or it might be the delivery guy, because I've got 2 parcels that are arriving, as I said at the beginning of stream, so I don't want to miss them. So 6 hours of gas central heating. Now, the majority of homes in this country have gas central heating. Now, last year, for 6 hours of gas central heating was £2.63. Not sure I agree entirely with that. We have our thermostat fixed on 18 degrees. Now, we do that because... So I'm really distracted here by these kids, man. They're checking my fence out. We've just put this construction fence around. Anyway, there's nothing to do with this. Anyway, I'm completely distracted. Okay, so, and we did the same in the flat last year as well. I'd like to know what size house this is for. Number one, just having an ambivalent gas central heating at £9.85. I can tell you last year over winter, and we had our gas central heating on 24 hours a day for 3 months. And it was on 18 degrees. And the reason that we did that was because not only does that the thermostat turn itself off, but it doesn't take as much to turn back on again, because it's keeping that heat up. And where a lot of the cost goes from gas central heating is trying to heat the room up after you've turned it off and it's gone cold again. But if you have it on something like 18 degrees, you're not paying as much as if you're trying to heat the room up to 24 degrees or 25 degrees, or if you've got an old thermostat, just ramping the whole thing up to as high as it'll go, you know. We probably paid that a week, I think, with gas central heating last year. It says here 6 hours of central heating cost £2.63. Yes, we were in a 1-bedroom flat. There was that. But it was costing us about £5 a day. I want to say it was costing us about £5 a day, actually, not £10 a week. It was costing us around £5 a day to run the gas all the time. Now, if that's gone up, that means that it would probably cost us, I don't want to say it's going to cost £15 a day, because if that's going to cost £15 a day, I'm turning the whole lot off. It ain't happening. Because at £15 a day, all right, that's not a calculator. £15 a day times 7, that's £105 a week. Ooh. I'm not sure I'm happy about that at all. If you've got a bill for £105 a week, times that by 4 equals £420 a month. God help us. Times 3, that's £1,260 for the winter. Cheapers. I'm not even sure where we'd get that money from. I can't even tell you. Even though Tanny's working on it, I'd be looking at it going, nope. So I'm really hoping that that is not the case, but I'm aware from what people have told me, like you guys have told me, what other people have told me, that, you know, that is pretty accurate, which worries me a lot. Tanny told me to put the thermostat on today and put it on auto so that it turns on and it turns itself on and off. But I'm really not happy about it. And I feel like I need to turn some of the radiators off because I feel they're not being used properly. Do you know what I mean? They're just not, it's not worth using them. Like the one in the hallway, you know, it's like, what's the point in that? And there's one that we've got that the dryer is sitting next to, and I kind of think, well, maybe that should go off as well because it could do damage to the dryer. Plus it's making some really strange noises, so I'm not really happy about that either. Okay, so now we're to 8 hours, and we're looking at laptop for 41p for pretty much a day's work, right? Okay. That's not bad. It's not great. I can buy into the math on electric blankets. They have no need for a throw off the heat, just right there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I mean, I think that's possibly the newer ones. It won't be the older ones. The older ones are, yeah, a little bit scarier. So the things that we have on for 24 hours, the Wi-Fi router is 9p to run for 24 hours. And the fridge with freezer, so fridge freezer, is 62p a day to run. Now, when I first read this, when I first saw this, this kind of graphy thing, all of these numbers were missing. All of these numbers were missing. So it made the whole thing go, what? Because it just said single use in hours. So it didn't say what any of these were. We all took it to mean per hour. So when I saw that it cost 62p for a fridge to run for an hour, I had heart failure. And it isn't. It's for 24 hours. It's 62p for the fridge with a freezer to run. Okay. Which is still quite a lot. It is still quite a lot. So, like I said, this is the one that the sources are from USwitch and Ofgem, and also the heating hub. Okay. Oh, wait a second. It's got a note down below here that says electric lights is equivalent to 10 non-energy saving bulbs. Okay. 10 non-energy saving bulbs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. We have 2, maybe 3 on. So, and they're not energy saving. And we have those on from about, well, for about 3 hours a day. So, yeah, but so that, where is it? Where'd they go? Electric lights. So that was for 5 hours for 10 light bulbs is 26p. Okay. Now it says down here as well, gas central heating is for a typical home size according to Ofgem. Typical to who? See, this is the kind of ambiguous stuff that really annoys me, because typical house size is different from person to person and family to family. Do you know what I mean? Typical house size for the King of England is Buckingham Palace. I very much doubt it's only going to cost him £9.85 for 6 hours of gas to heat that place. All right? It's rather a large pile of bricks, and it's going to cost more than that. Or if you've got someone who's in a one-bedroom flat, who they've only ever lived in a one-bedroom flat because they are a single person who's always lived on their own, again, that is a typical sized house for them. To say a typical home size is wrong because it doesn't give an accurate statement. And that's where I don't like the ambiguity of it, because it means that I can't pass it on any proper information to you guys. I would say that what they mean by that is a 3-bedroom house. You know, I honestly think that what they mean by this is a 3-bedroom house, maybe terraced house. So a house next to a house next to a house, for those of you who don't know what a terrace house is. So they're all houses that are attached to each other in a line is a terrace house, and they're like 3-4 bedrooms. So I would say that's what that's for. But yes, let's have a look at chat. Very ambiguous, doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll have to send you a parcel from Australia. Annie, that would be absolutely beautiful, darling. But I will tell you now, the postage is obnoxious. And I wouldn't want to put you in that situation. I love you dearly. I really, really do, my friend. But geez, I mean, like my friend sent me a packet of spearmint leaves one Christmas, and it costed $27 to do it. So yeah, talk to me later about that, because if you are going to send something, I would like to put money in for postage, because no. Going slowly nowhere. It says that one is also kind of ambiguous, because if you are freezing down something, it pulls a lot more power than just standby. Yes. Steve, you are right. Could they make this chart any more confusing? It's about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. Absolutely it is. Okay, so Reba estimates the floor area of the average new... look, do you know what? Read it yourselves. There we go. Estimates the floor area of the average new 3-bedroom home in the UK is 88 square meters, some 8 square meters short of its recommended space. Good God. Yeah, I'd say, like I said, I think what they mean by that is that it's a 3-bedroom home, basically. What they mean is a 3-bedroom home. So that's how much they are expecting it to cost. So, yeah. So this is the one put out by Ofgem or Uswitch. It's basically the numbers have been gotten from Ofgem and Uswitch and the Heating Hub. I would be more inclined to think that this is a little bit more accurate, even though it's incredibly ambiguous in places. But I think this one would be more accurate than some of these. Okay, so this, however, was put out by Utilita. I can save on the cost of a hairdryer. Yes, you can, my friend. So Utilita Energy, which is has been well known for cheap electric, cheap gas, and they were who we were through in our previous home. They've put this one out. Now, microwave, they've gone minute, hour, year usage. So for individual usage, obviously. So yeah, so they've got microwaves, air fryers, slow cookers, gas cooker, dual cooker, and electric cooker. Well, that's a lot more than the other one was. That's one. Electric cooker is what they would imagine would be what they meant by the fan cooker over here, which was 104. It was put out by Ofgem. Now Utilita are saying there's £1.81. Wait a second. Electric fan for an hour. No, yeah, electric oven with fan, £1.04 for an hour. Sorry. They're saying it's £2.53 to run it. Or £2.10. That's very expensive. That's silly money. That's really expensive. And see, I don't understand how they can say this when if you put your oven on, 9 times out of 10, it's for more than an hour. So how can the usage be £1.50 or £1.81? Because that says to me it's only on for 40 minutes. We can't cook a roast in 40 minutes. Unless it's just like chicken pieces or, you know, off the bone stuff that's pre-sliced or something. But then it's not a roast, is it? And you can't roast vegetables in 40 minutes. They'd still be hard. For others, non-UK that has ears that insist on hearing Ofgem, it's Ofgem. Yes. They are the ombudsman. They are the oversight committee for the energy suppliers. Sorry, mate. But they are saying that the slow cooker is 34p. Whereas over here, it said it was 47p for 3 hours. Okay. So, yeah, of Gemma saying that for 3 hours a slow cooker costs 47p, right? Over here, they're saying it costs 34p. But again, it depends on your size of your slow cooker. If you've got a little one, it's not going to cost that much to run it, is it? We've got a ginormous one. It's probably going to cost us 47p every time I switch it on. So, you know, microwave slow cooker and portable induction hob are just about all I use, and a kettle. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. We don't have a microwave. I do have a reason why. We did have one, and I have had one in my house. It's just that they don't tell you this. You know, they don't tell you that every year you should have it resealed because of the seals get broken down by the radiation that's caused from the cooking on the microwaves. So they don't tell you that. But yeah, so but it costs a lot of money to reseal your microwave every year. But yeah, so that's why I tend not to go anywhere near them. Could it be they're also thinking of pasta, eggs, and so on that pulls down the average time on the use of a cooker? Yeah, but are they talking about the cooker or are they talking about the oven? Because that's a dual cooker. So that's the top and bottom. And the gas cooker is a gas top and gas oven. The electric cooker would be the gas stove and the gas oven. So, again, it's very ambivalent. And it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. It just doesn't make any sense. It's almost like they've just, yeah, I'm just, okay. So this one has come from Freeman's. It's come from Freeman's. Now, I don't know what Freeman's is. Creative Commons Attribution, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically, this is one of the ones I pulled off a, this is one that I pulled off a newspaper site. I think it was, I want to say The Sun. Don't hurt me. I hate The Sun, but it seems that the only newspaper that's been putting things out like this has been The Sun. Hey, Daz. Been watching for a while now, but I'm buggered, so just sitting back and watching, but I thought you should know I'm actually here. Oh, babe, thanks. So these are the costs to run appliances per month. The fridge and freezer, $43.68. Now, what did they say back here? It would cost to run it, fridge with freezer, 62p, right? Okay, so we got 62p times 30 days in a month. See, that's bollocks. That would be bollocks then, really, honestly, because it comes to £18.60, and that's according to of Gem. So I honestly think that a lot of these aren't that accurate. I really don't think a lot of them are accurate. The espresso machine says 19p a month. Now, we have an espresso machine. And I can tell you it gets used more than 3 times a month. You know? Hob extractor fan, 37p. Microwave, 55p a month. Coffee machine, 73p a month. See, these don't make any sense. Single oven, £9.36. That doesn't make any sense either. Because they've been saying that it's going to cost back here, electric oven with fan was £1.04 for an hour. So I just don't get it. So, like I said, these have been making my brain ache a lot. Now, this is another one that was put out by MKFM 106.3. MKFM, that would be Milton Keynes FM. Both of mine are a microwave, steamer, grill, oven combi thing, and the oven bit uses a lot less electric than the main oven. I think the last time I used the Gas Hob electric cooker was Christmas. And how many slices of toast do they think people make per month? Would be more useful to make math on per toast. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I mean, like, toast here is something that we live on, okay? We don't have a toaster. We just stick it under the grill, which is part of the oven. And we can get 8 slices done at once that way, rather than just putting 2 in at a time or 4 in at a time. See, again, these ones don't seem to make any sense either. They don't make any sense either. See, they're saying that the oven only costs £9.36 to run, the freezer £13. You know, this is where I think a lot of them are just making stuff up. Okay, now I'm not showing these because these are accurate. The one that I think is reasonably accurate is the one at the beginning, which has all the bubbles on it, because it's been put together with information from the actual oversight ombudsman for the electrical companies. So this is another one. But again, unless you're going to read all the wattage and all of that kind of stuff, you know, I don't know anyone that runs a microwave for an hour. If you run a microwave for an hour, why? Who are you trying to kill? LCD TV does not cost 4p an hour to run. It costs more than that. A fridge costs more than 2p an hour to run. These again, this is just an ambivalent mess. It doesn't even have anyone's name on it. They haven't taken responsibility for it. And they haven't said where they've got their numbers from. This is the other thing. So maybe on convection for baking. Yeah, maybe. Or they could have been my mum, because when she went, when microwaves first came out, she was roasting chickens in it. Just don't. Just no. It's not nice. Don't do it. How does a kettle cost 60p an hour? That can't cost 60p. A tumble dryer costs more than 60p an hour to run. It cost more than 60p an hour to run 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Even last year, it cost more than 60p to run on my dryer. And my dryer is not that old, you know. Yeah, a lot of these are really like I said, they're really ambivalent. They don't really tell you where they got their numbers from. It's almost like they've just plonked them on a page. Right, so let's just hide this a second. So for the last 50 minutes, we've been talking about this stuff, and it's as boring as all get out. I'm not going to lie. But BBC News doing exactly the same as you are on at the moment, copycats. Lol. Hey, they're taking my idea. Rude. Okay. So, however, like I said at the beginning of this, down below in the description is, hang on a second. Stop it. No. Pause, you numpty head. Right. Down in the description below is the link to the Citizens Advice Bureau Appliances Cost Calculator, where you can put in the details and wattage, etc., of your item, and they will give you what should be the cost of running it at this moment, with the cost of electric as it is, or gas. Okay? I would go to that. If you are worried about a piece of equipment that you have, you go there. Okay. And do that, because that's really important. The other thing you can do is you can talk to your energy providers and see if you can get on day-night rates. If you can get on electric day-night rates, then you can do the more expensive stuff at night between 7 and 7 rather than doing it during the day. It does make a huge difference. My state government, Victoria, yes, are funding electricity usage meters so people can currently order them for free from a number of manufacturers and distributors. Then they can monitor usage and costs. Yeah, over here they're called smart meters. Most households have them. They keep sending us letters saying, you know, we want to fit a smart meter. And I'm sort of sitting there going, where are you going to put that then? I don't know where you think you're going to put it, mate. So, yeah. So, normally I would be wrapping up about now. Hey, prepping for heaven. How are you doing, darling? It's all right, sweetheart. It's all good. We're still here. Day-night rates have saved my sitting area. I have had almost free power the last night and too ill to work, so I might as well cook at night. Fair enough. Fair enough. It makes sense. So, normally I would be wrapping this up about now. However, just special for you guys, because I did another episode of Bargain Brits on benefits, and I've been sent a copy of it, and it means that you can watch my bits with no ads. Ta-da! So I thought I'd share that with you today, because it does kind of fit in with the whole budgeting thing, because it's ideas on that sort of stuff. But I am only going to be showing you my bits of the show, not the other ones. You're not going to see that anyway. But, you know, this is a family show, people. Behave. So, yeah, so I'm only going to show my part in the show, and it is scattered around, okay? So I will show those. They will be coming up in a moment. Let me just check chat. We have smart meters. These are little Wi-Fi devices. Ooh. You're staying awake now. Yay! Okay, so we're going to get back on this, okay? I'm so glad that it was not my brain in the gutter there, but on purpose. It's all good. Right, so I have to find the specific bits that include me, which is really sad, because there's actually this guy. Oh, look out. All right. Okay. We're going to put that on there. Now, if you can't hear this, I need you guys to tell me, okay? Now, can you hear it? You can't hear it? You now have a badge. No sound. No sound? Oh my gosh. Hang on. Give me a second. Okay, Daz. Share audio in Melon sharing. Okay, hang on a second. Background audio. Okay. Right, okay, I've got it. I think I've got it. Okay. Ready? Let me know if that works. No? How is that no? Nick, what? Oh my God. How is that a no? I know, Kitty, you still can't hear it? Oh my Lord. Oh, close and start again. Okay, hang on. Let's get rid of that. We're going to do it again. Oh, I can share a video. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me see. Oh, come on. Did you get the beep? What is it? Oh, look out.
We hear you, Mark. To be a bargain boater, you've got to be crafty.
All right, give me a second, guys. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for me to fast forward this, so you may have to just watch it.
To household acts to help you through the hot weather.
Oh, God. That is bliss.
Pam's low-cost innovations can help us all enjoy summer without breaking a sweat over our budgets. It's the middle of summer and things are hotting up with our Pam.
Wait a minute.
She's got a hot household hack to help in a heat wave and save you hard cash.
So, guys, this isn't working properly for some reason. It's actually like paused. Oh! Oh. Hang on.
A skill set, but it helps because you can save money in a lot of ways from doing DIY and maintenance.
It's not working. What is going on?
It was 2017 when Mark decided to swap the rat race for the boat race.
I've lived on a boat for 6 years now. I was not forced into it. I just decided to save some money, cut costs and stop paying ridiculous amounts of rent.
Mark was forking out 700 quid a month for his house.
That's not
now
working,
he pays
is
just
it, guys?
240 a month for his river licence and mooring fees.
You're constantly, continuously cruising. That gives you different landscapes. So
yeah,
you've got city views, you've got town views, you've got
Why is it doing it to me?
It goes wherever you're more. And the other thing is, if you don't like your neighbour, you can move, can't you, within an hour?
You can hear it.
Mark used to be a landscape architect, but when work dried up during the pandemic, he needed a new career. So he submitted a business plan to qualify
processor or GPU
for
is
60 quid
struggling
a
with
week
streaming and
new
pushing out your
enterprise
video.
allowance.
It shouldn't be.
A benefit
is,
designed to help set up and run a small
I'm going to be
business.
quite cross because I've got an
allows
i9.
you then to receive a small payment,
and it's brand new. It shouldn't be.
Costs, and also it's the support of developing that business.
This is frustrating me, actually, guys. Hang on a second. I don't know what to do. I actually really don't know what to do at this point because it just seems to be not working. Do I share it as a screen rather than the video if it's not doing that? I know you are, darling. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can flip the camera to your... Yeah, hang on a second, guys. We're gonna sort this out, all right? If it kills me, we're gonna sort this out. And it probably will kill me. I'll probably go off my nut by the end of this. Okay, so we're gonna try again. One more time. All right, we're gonna try this one more time. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check my settings to see what my sound is doing. Now I see it's on 100%. Oh, there we go. More sound settings. No, that all seems to be okay. Good grief. Okay, so I've checked all that, so that should be fine. It could work. I would have to go and get a tripod though, because my camera is attached to my TV. Let me just try this one more time, okay? Let me just try this one more time. Let's try it one more time. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to lose my mind. That's not it. Okay, so we're going to try this one more time. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to think of something else. But I don't know what to do. Is that working better?
An animal man Leanne makes brain games for birds on the cheap.
Obviously, they're constantly raising what's going on outside, but it's good to give them some other things to play with.
Sort of sound?
A really novel way to keep yourself afloat. Get down to Leicestershire.
Oh no!
Smiling now, you're on the camera.
Mark kissed goodbye to the house he was renting.
Well, I've just
into life at sea. Well, life on a canal.
Hey Scott, how are you doing, darling? I've just pointed the mic at the TV, so I'm kind of hoping that'll work. If nothing else.
Gas bill is about £10 a month due to just downsizing to a camping stove.
Being in nature, he's found ways to make notes, spending nout.
Basically turns a seasoned bit of wood into something that I can help pay with living costs.
Mark is the ultimate downsizer, but he's a Titanic bargain barger.
This is my home, a boat called Fisher. We're on
I will whisper.
Now. This is my four-legged best friend, Finn.
Canal boats can set you back around 100 grand, but Smart Mark paid just 8,000 for an old fixer-upper that
Doing
was half full
awesome
of
things,
water.
Scotty.
Then got handy rebuilding the walls and rewiring.
These are chair beds which move into a double bed at night. These were quite cheap from a second-hand shop. And I just upcycled, put new material on them and then covered them with blankets. I've used old trays, saved a bit more money and created another box from pallet wood.
We hear you, Mark. To be a bargain boater, you've got to be crafty.
You don't necessarily have to have a skill set, but it helps because you can save money in a lot of ways from doing DIY maintenance on your boat.
It was 2017 when Mark decided to swap the rat race for the boat race.
I've lived on a boat for 6 years now. I was not forced into it. I just decided to save some money, cut costs, and stop paying ridiculous amounts of rent.
Mark was forking out 700 quid a month for his house. Now he pays just 240 a month for his river licence and mooring fees.
You're constantly, continuously cruising.
Yes, he does.
That gives you different landscapes. So you've got city views, you've got town views, you've got countryside. Your home's wherever you're more. And the other thing is, if you don't like your neighbour, you can move, can't you, within an hour?
Mark used to be a landscape architect, but when work dried up during the pandemic, he needed a new career.
I've got friends who do
He
this.
submitted a business plan to qualify for 60 quid a week new enterprise allowance, a benefit designed to help set up and run a small business.
And that allows you then to receive a small payment to help with setup costs, and also it's the support of developing that business that you receive from business coaches.
Mark's fledgling enterprise is making and selling walking sticks. As it's his only source of income, he needs to seriously watch the pennies for all of his daily living costs.
We've got the log burner, which provides the heat in the winter. That's run off any logs we find. You don't need an oven to cook, especially in the winter. Anything like jacket potatoes in the bottom of the log burner, pizzas, square tray on top.
Burning free wood saves Mark hundreds off the average gas bill. Now that's a hot tip.
You're on camera, Jeff, wave!
In York, resourceful Pamela is a former chef who knows how to live very well on very little.
These are done.
And tasty treats that won't eat into your wallet.
That is going to be really nice.
To household acts to help you through the hot weather.
Oh, God. That is bliss.
Pam's low-cost innovations can help us all enjoy summer without breaking a sweat over our budgets. It's the middle of summer and things are hotting up with our Pam. She's got a hot household hack to help in a heat wave and save you hard cash.
So I'm going to turn this into a air conditioning blower using some bits and pieces that you probably already got around the house. I'm going to take the front off. You want to do this when it's completely unplugged.
Single aircon unit can add around 24 quid a week to your energy bill, but Pam's hack puts pay to that.
You want to get the cold air from behind because the fans work to pull the air from behind to push it outwards. So if you've got something cold from behind, it's going to pull that cold air through to push it forwards, and it's going to be more effective than just blowing air over ice. So we've got two small pop bottles that we've used that have been filled up with water that are going to go on the back on either side. These are being frozen.
Just be careful not to knock your fan off balance or it could fall over and bust. It was by living in hot countries that Pam learned low-cost tricks for keeping cool.
I spent a lot of years in Southeast Asia and Australia as well, with work and bringing my kids up and all of that kind of thing.
She has to be smart with money after a serious injury ended her career.
I used to be a chef. I was a chef for 26 years. And then I wasn't a chef anymore because I broke my back. Basically, I fell down some stairs while I was wearing an 80-kilo pack. It was devastating not being able to work anymore. Financially, things have changed dramatically. I've gone from
What? Am I still here, guys? What happened there? Please tell me it's back. Oh my god. Can you guys see me? Okay. Phew. All right. All right. Let's just roll it back a little bit and go from there.
While I was wearing an 84,
Whew.
it was devastating not being able to work anymore. Financially, things have changed dramatically. I've gone from a very high 5-figure salary to I went down to £7,000 a year when I was on ESA, as well as PEP.
But Practical Pam is a dab hand when it comes to living resourcefully on a benefits budget. And now the moment of truth on her latest innovation.
Yeah, we're going to plug it in.
With the cheapest portable aircon costing easily £70, Pam's cost a cool couple of quid.
It's bliss, actually. I'm not gonna lie, that is bliss. So do I get my blue Peter pads now?
Amazing what you can do with a couple of hair ties.
King of the Canal Mark is sharing his hot tips for bargain boating. Tip 1, be maverick.
For people on benefits, you've got to cut costs. You've got to think left field things, how you can make stuff to get by.
And number 2, be sustainable.
Consider solar and green energy, living off grid to reduce your bills. I work and live on my boat. It's very off grid and very money saving, as we've got solar panels for electric. My solar runs a water pump, the Hoover, lights.
And tip 3, be agile.
To live a boater's life, you need to be quite resilient, very practical. It's quite simple living, but I love it. Our gas now is just canisters on a camping stove.
It's a good one. It really is a good one, prepping for heaven.
Weeks.
Every day on the water is a saving over being on land. Later, Money Spinner Mark shows us how he tops up his tight budget. Coming up, Pamela is preserving potatoes as well as pounds.
Basically, if it grows, you can pickle it.
Leanne is giving her birds a hearty feed for less.
Whatever's on offer, they basically have.
We're with the Bargain Brits giving top tips for a full life on little money. Meet wildlife loving Leanne from Plymouth. She's so besotted by our furry friends, she set up a rescue centre where she's saved thousands of birds.
You good girl.
And a host of four-legged lovelies. And all while saving the pennies and pounds from discount grub.
Whatever's on offer, they basically have.
To ingenious ways to transform junk into joy.
Let's do that one.
Leanne can show us all a thing or two about keeping our pets happy on the cheap. Wildlife lover Leanne's nifty about being thrifty and shops wisely to turn reduced foodstuff into munchies that are animal magic.
So these were on offer for £69p, but it was definitely not ready when I got it. So it's been sat here for a week. Oh, now it's gone too far. This is just going to be a treat.
And half the price at the pet shop seed treat.
So this one's going to be for the crows and the jackdaws.
For so many hungry tummies to fill, feed could cost a fortune, but it pays to swoop in on the deals.
We basically take anything that's on offer, usually in Aldi or Lidl. The kiwis are usually on offer, but it could be something completely different next week. I suppose it goes with the seasons as well, but it is whatever's on offer, they basically have. And we've had no complaints.
Leanne, there's a hair in my pineapple. Leanne set up Athena Animal Rescue in Plymouth 10 years ago, taking in all sorts of injured creatures and giving them a life of luxury at low cost.
The other sheep aren't going to brush you, are they? We take in all wildlife, and basically we rehabilitate it, we treat it, give it any medication, and then get it back out into the world as soon as we can.
Leanne's unable to do a conventional 9 to 5 because she has health conditions, including fibromyalgia, Graves' disease, and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
With my conditions, I can obviously still do things when I'm having good days, but I still struggle with the pain. I have a lot of medication that just manages it. If the pain's too much, then I have to stop. I can't work because basically my days are very up and down. So one day I may not be able to get out of bed, I won't be able to move at all. So holding down a job has just been a no-go. So I claim ESA, employment support allowance, and I get my usual child tax credits.
After Leanne's paid her rent, she's left with £640 a month, and she wants to use the money and energy she does have to give back to her local area and beloved feathered friends.
When you've seen such a turnaround in a bird that comes in and could be in an awful state, and then you see it flying off in 6 weeks, 2 months, it's amazing, and that's what keeps you going. We kind of keep the cost down with so many little things. Literally, it's just a case of constantly recycling. Save money. The only way we can.
And Leanne says pet owners would be quackers to fork out on posh pet nosh when it's going for a song.
Especially with birds, a lot of people think that they get everything, say parrots or inside birds, they get everything in their little diet. It's just a little cup of food. But they need, fruit, veg. Same goes with anything that's left over. I mean, everything that I'm using here can go into your back garden. So the sparrows will eat, if you've got scraps left over, even if it's meat, raw or cooked, just put it in the garden and they'll devour it. You don't have to go out and spend a fortune on seeds, and, sunflower seeds especially are really expensive. So you can use everything.
No waste here. Keeping creature comforts cost effective is Leanne's superpower, and she's going to show us how. Back in York, savvy summer saver Pamela. She appears to be in a bit of a pickle.
Morning. Shut up.
With the fridge fit to burst, she's on a mission to make sure nothing gets chucked.
We've just done our shop, but we also have a lot of stuff that we've got left over from the previous fortnight. So what I normally do now is I find ways to preserve that, because I don't want it to go off and I don't want it to go to waste. A lot of the fruit and veg, normally I tend to do things like pickle it or jam it, because that's money at the end of the day, and we don't want to be spending it on things we don't have to.
First up for Pam's pickle jar is this butternut squash, which is beginning to go a bit, squashy.
Basically, if it grows, you can pickle it. It's just about finding a way that works.
Once it's pickled, Pam can be totally chilled about when to eat it.
It'd be really nice to go with things like barbecued meats and stuff like that later on down the track.
First up, Pamela removes the seeds.
You could save these seeds for roasting or toasting to go on top of, just as munchies, for pumpkin seeds and stuff. So to mix up with nuts and things like that. Or you can put them on top of salads as little crunchy yumminess. But most of these seeds will be kept for next year to put in the garden to get more pumpkins. Or butternut squash, whatever you want to call it.
Seeds out. I bet this gets difficult now.
So with most veg that you're going to pickle, you want to salt it first. It brings out the excess juice, so it doesn't dilute the actual pickle that you put over the top.
Salt, got it. So how does it get difficult now?
So we're going to leave that now for 3 to 4 hours for the excess liquid to come out of it. Then we're going to rinse it off and go through the pickling process.
Too easy. Back in Leicestershire, bargain barger Mark is lapping up his new life on water. When his work as a landscape architect dried up, he swapped his £700 a month house rental for a boat, and his office is only the forest.
You find a lot of stuff in woodlands and paths, plus it gives you the exercise.
Well, you and I see fallen trees, Mark sees an inventive money-making opportunity.
So on my boat, I create natural hand-carved walking staffs. At the moment, I'm just getting this bark off this one, and then it will go down to a sand, fine carve it. Just giving it a protective coat of yacht varnish. We usually give it 2 or 3 coats, but you can see how that's bringing that bark and grain out. It just looks a really aesthetically pleasing walking staff. It basically turns a seasoned bit of wood that was just lying there into something that I can make a bit of money from and help pay with living costs.
Mark put his new enterprise allowance towards buying the tools he needed for his startup.
I suppose you could call me a caveman. A stick man.
For now, the stick man is making just enough to live off, but his goal is to double his sales. Back in Leanne's Cornish Animal Rehab Centre,
So you're telling me, I heard you tell me go there.
and Bob the sheep is helping out with the cheapest chips food prep. He loves a bargain.
Bob helps a lot. Bob's very helpful, and he likes to make sure that we've got everything out of the cupboards and everything's in order. So he rearranges everything on a daily basis, basically, which is very kind, very thoughtful of him. Oh, that's my drill, you sod.
Well, Bob gets busy with the
Not on
tools.
public access
He
for
armed
puffs,
with
darling.
Mary Poppins level tips for how to help her animals' expensive medicine go down.
The worry is, same with every animal, is they're going to kick it all over the place and throw their food, whereas obviously medicine's not cheap. If it's wrapped in food and it's their favourite food, it always works.
That's handy for any cash-strapped pet owner.
If you mix any medication that you need to use in with, favourite food, usually cheese or sausages, things like that, basically you're not wasting the medication. You guarantee your pet's getting the foods and the medicine all in one go. It's not wasted, and you don't have longer with them on the medication if they're not taking it regularly.
And what's more, you can share to save a bob. Hey, Bob.
You don't have to pay out a fortune for, certain tablets, when you can put a bit of cod liver oil or something like that into a bit of a treat for cats and dogs. So much cheaper just to buy it in a bottle and, do it yourself.
So no need to shell out at the pet store. Sharing cod liver oil with your pet could save you around £6. Back to Pam, our high priestess of preservation.
Sweet potato.
Next up for Pam's pickling jar.
It's sweet potatoes, and I don't want this to go off, and it'll survive maybe 3 or 4 more days. So I'm going to pickle these, which will extend their life by about 3 months and give me something different.
Talking of time, these are Pam's top tips for how to pickle in just a jiffy. Step 1, slice and dice.
You want to have it fairly thin so it picks up a lot of the pickle fairly quickly.
Step 2, make a good brine.
So this is a pint of liquid which is half rice wine with vinegar and half water. So that's your main part of your pickle brine. Then we're going to add some salt, some sugar, a little bit of chilli.
Step 3, just bung it in.
And then once it's come to the boil, we're going to turn it off and let it sit for a couple of minutes. Anyone can do it.
Now that's not complex chefing, is it? For £3 worth of ingredients, Pam will get at least 5 small jars of pickle, which would set you back over 30 notes to buy.
The only place that you'd be able to find things like this would be in an artisan farmer's market or event or food event or something like that. And you're going to get a little tiny jar about that size, and it's going to cost you about 7 or 8 quid for a little tiny jar.
Then all that's left to do,
Just going to pop that straight in there.
is for Pamela to put her peck of premium pickled potatoes in her pickling jar. Perfect.
If you want to, you can keep that in the fridge. You don't have to, as long as it's in a cool, dark place, like a pantry cupboard that's fairly reasonably cool. It should last you about 3 months.
Not with my appetite for pickle, Pam.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Coming up, we go foraging for freebies with Marianne.
It's good to do it with someone who's an expert. I mean, she knows a lot more than I do.
Mark tries to flog his finely crafted branches.
Touch wood, I can usually sell a few staffs here.
We're meeting the thrifty Brits with smart solutions for getting bang for their buck. If you believe there's no such thing as a free lunch, then veteran bargain Brit Marianne is here to prove you wrong. She's on the hunt for frugal refreshments in London. Good luck with that one, Marianne. You better know what you're looking at.
So one of these, I remember I looked them up once. They're edible, right?
But her walk on the wild side makes for great bargain bevies with pals.
It feels like a drink in spring.
It's all about learning what's safe, free and tasty for this frugal forager.
Maybe.
Come to my den. Come.
In North London, Marianne is a canny creative who makes art out of the free stuff around her.
Anyone can do a collage. Just cut it up and stick it in there.
She's realised the love for concocting something out of nothing can apply to her grub too.
I've always had friends that were interested in foraging, would hear about it. And I think during lockdown, I spent a lot more time in nature and kind of became more aware of what's around me and got very curious, just really wanted to find out more. And the idea of like you can just go out in nature and pick your food, it was just very appealing.
As you should only forage with an expert who knows the do's and don'ts, Marianne's taking friend Orshi.
I met her at the Mine charity shop, and she's very good at recognizing plants. It's good to do it with someone who's an expert. I mean, she knows a lot more than I do. Because when I started foraging, I was eating all the poisonous stuff, but I was eating in very small quantities, so nothing happened. But yeah, I kept eating hemlock. Don't do that.
Top tip, Marianne. Don't pick the poisonous ones.
Yeah, like there are some plants that are good in small doses, but like this is not the one.
So one of these, I remember I looked them up once. They're edible, right? So you can make a lot of teas. You can make food out of these plants. There are some roots you can use, and they're very good for you to have. They're very nutritious, and you can't really buy fresh dandelion in a shop. Or many other kind of wild herbs and flowers, and it's readily available. It just grows everywhere, so it's really good to know what they are. And you know, it's healthy and you save a lot of money. I mean, it's free.
Artist Marianne has been finding ways to live frugally ever since her day job dried up during lockdown.
Obviously, it was a time that everybody was struggling, so nobody really wanted to buy art. Nobody would want to invest in art. So during the pandemic, I moved in with my partner, and we applied the joint universal credit. I really feel this is me, and this is my partner.
On a strict benefits budget, there's no indulging in high-priced herbal teas. Luckily, Orshi has a nifty tool for hunting out your own for nout.
I do have an app on my phone that helps me identify plants.
What are the berries that grow everywhere?
Himalayan blackberries.
Himalayan? All the way from Himalayas?
Yeah.
Also, maybe I better get from there because this section it could be like very much targeted by dogs. You don't want to eat anybody's territory.
Yeah, best swerve little Fluffy's patch. Melts off home to brew up those free berries. In Leicestershire, Bargain Bargain Mark is hoping to use wood from the land to make some mad paper. He hand carves wooden staffs to sell to walkers.
Once that's all sanded and shined and varnished, it just looks really aesthetically pleasing walking staff.
He's made his sticks, but needs to find the perfect spot to flog them.
We're at Sutton Wharf on the Ashby Canal in this beautiful rainy day, and this is one of my hotspots. Touch wood, I can usually sell a few staffs here.
At 40 quid a pot, what Mark really needs is a spot with lots of eager buyers.
I'm pretty confident today. I think if the rain clears, I should sell a couple of staff. But if not, life goes on. Which means I can't eat paper. That is solid oak. You look at the grain and the texture on that, you know, and it's a really strong staff.
Perfect for walkers and any passing shepherds.
Oh yeah, you're right. So feel free to have a look. Thank you.
They all look very nice.
Thank you.
That Gandalf up there, Mark could be in for a sale.
See ya, take care.
Mark's little spot isn't retail heaven. After several hours of rain, it looks like his business plan is deader than disco.
The weather's slowed it right down. So I'll be surprised if we sell any today.
What he needs now is some magic to rustle up a customer. Hang on.
So you can take them out and have a look and stuff. That's £40 then, please.
And Mark has a sale.
Yeah, we're going to Loch Lomond next week.
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah. That'll be perfect, mate.
Especially though, we're going to see a Scottish friend, and I really like the
2 seconds, guys.
So...
I've got a delivery.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Have a great day. £40 sale. Yeah, pasta tonight.
Pasta? Maybe think about champagne. You've got more punters coming.
Hi, guys.
Seems branching out is really helping Mark start his business.
That's £20 then, please. Can I get a photo as well for my Instagram?
Absolutely.
Mark has made 60 quid of almost pure profit. Who knew there were so many staff fancies on towpaths?
Time to pack up, chill out. It's been a good couple of days, sold a few staffs. Every sale comes with a story.
Back at Leanne's Animal Hospital in Cornwall, Leanne, her son Bailey and Bob the sheep are doing the rounds to check on the patients. The goats, sheep who don't think they are people, unlike Bob, and the bigger birds.
So these two are buzzers that came in last year, both with really bad, tail feather damage. Do you want to take them out? Yeah. That's it, come out. They've got beautiful tail feathers now, lovely flight feathers. So we've moved them into this bigger enclosure, hoping that they can make it from one end to another, nice and easy, and then they can be released out to the wild. You look very beautiful now. You don't look from hell.
These birds aren't just beautiful, they're brainy. So Leanne needs to stop them from getting bored. She does this by giving them brain-stretching puzzles, but not Wordle. She makes her own. What are you going to do with that, Leanne?
I'm going to put treats in it. I cut it up, so each corvid enclosure has some.
Time for some cost-conscious crafting.
Like Blue Peter. Right, So we're going to try. So we've got 3 separate corvid areas, which corvids are crows, magpies, jackals. They're really intelligent. So what we do is we try and give them enrichment. So just stuff for them to do throughout the day. Obviously, they're constantly nosing at what's going on outside, but it's good to give them some other things to play with. Magpies love these, and then we cut them up as well, so they're easy to go in and hide. Like little nests. And then we're going to put the food away, so they know there's something in there. Even if they don't, they'll still destroy it because they want to know what's going on. I'm going to put tomato. That really nice and quick and easy, which is what we like, but lots of fun for naughty birds.
Yes, they'll all be raving about it. Brain games from the pet store can cost around £15 a go, and homemade, they are next to nothing. Bob the sheep has come to join the party. When it comes to Bob, Leanne has a favourite word.
No. No. Everything's no.
Last animal toy tip. Leanne's found a way to source super expensive AstroTurf to make posh playthings for the birds.
So some of the garden centres, they give away for free. Or you can go online and apply, say, can we have free samples, please? And they can just sample with every single one.
And she's putting it to good use.
We use them for perches, basically. So the corvids will play with this, as well as probably the string that's attached to it. I'm good. I don't need your help. I'm all right, thank you. Luckily, they don't give bobs away for free.
Bob, you are brilliantly balmy. Back with the queen of household innovations, Pamela, and she's got another hot weather hack for us.
It's been pretty tough, especially with the last week of weather, where you also want to get some airflow going through the house.
Where others see problems, Pam sees a pound pinching project.
So just to be prepared for next time, and so that we don't get flooded with flies and things as well, we'll put some screens on the windows because we can.
Net insect screens fixed to your windows are a smashing solution when you want to let fresh air in but keep pesky bugs out.
You can get screen windows, but it's incredibly expensive over here because it's not a normal thing, so they would have to be custom built.
Sounds pricey, so what's the thrifty alternative?
Scaffolding and debris netting, its proper use is for using on building sites to stop debris from flying into the off scaffolding.
This heavy-duty netting should be more than a match for anything on either side of the window.
It has a really decent mesh on it, so it'll stop most bugs from coming in. It's really strong, so it'll stop the cat from trying to get out, and it's not easily ripped because it's built so that parts of building won't go through it. So the cat theoretically shouldn't really be able to get through it.
And instead of a costly custom fitter, what are we using, Pam?
I'm going to use Velcro strips to hold the screen onto the window. It's easy enough if you want to open and close the window or change that for you to be able to do it. And it's cheap.
There's no flies on you, Pam.
So rather than cutting it to fit, because
no
this is
screens here.
Very stretchy fabric, what we're doing is we have cut a piece that's too big so that we can stretch it across to fit the window. That now will stop the cat going through and stop the flies coming in. So, it's a win.
That's one cost-saving insect screen, and it even gets the cat's seal of approval.
Hey, look out the window now.
Back in North London, trainee forager Mariam has dried out her elderflowers.
Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome.
Orshi and friend Ma have come to try her tea, but Mariam's not done her homework.
And the berries are highly toxic.
Is it?
I'm drawn to. I am drawn to poison.
The berries are toxic, but the flowers are not. So they go into the teapot.
It's really nice having a glass teapot, isn't it?
Oh,
Which I bought from the charity shop, of course.
A box of organic elderflower tea would set you back £5. This is free, and you can add whatever you've got at home to spice it up.
Rose petals. These are from Iran. My mom sent me. And I'm going to add this cinnamon stick there too.
I don't have this much fun when I make a brew.
So cute. We should do some photography.
Teapot photography.
Yeah.
But does it pass the taste test?
They were actually elderflowers, but they were elderflower berries that were very, very underripe and not ready. And yeah,
It's very hard open.
you don't want to eat them.
It feels like a drink in spring.
Looks like we should all start foraging. But unlike Marianne, check you're not picking poison. Coming up, Barger Mark is cutting back on water bills.
I'd probably save about £1,000
That's
a month
bonkers.
because it's a simpler way of living.
Pam has a hack for saving fruit on the edge.
These are done.
As the cost of living is rising for all of us, we're with the canny claimants who make their cash go further. Back in sunny York, former chef Pamela knows that we waste a ton of dosh chucking out gone-off fruit and veg. Guess what? She's got a hack for that.
In good weather, when I have gluts of things, I put things out on trays outside to sun dry because you just make use of what you've got at the end of the day. So if you wanted to do it in the garden, you can either go and buy bamboo trays, which is what they use in Asia, the round bamboo trays, and they just pop those out. Or if you can't get hold of those or don't have the money for it, an old cake rack will do.
Drying fruit instead of chucking it will save you a packet. And when the sun isn't shining, Pam's got a secret weapon, a dehydrator.
As much as it does cost a bit to run it, when you work out the cost of buying dried fruit and veg in the shops, especially with the prices that they're going to, it actually works out cheaper. So this does cost around £10 a day to run, but a kilo of strawberries to buy dried is around nearly £30.
Now that's a tasty saving. And this is how to hold on to your berries to get full bang for your buck.
You just layer them out. They don't need to be too far away from each other because you want to put as many on the tray as possible because they shrink. And once they're dried, you can blitz them into powders and put them in smoothies, or you can just leave them as snacks or whatever you want. We need to turn the beast on. It's about 57 degrees, and that's all it takes. It'll take a good 4 or 5 hours to dehydrate. It may take less, depends, but we can just literally walk away and leave that alone now. Done.
Mark in Leicestershire is a bargain barger who moved from a house to a houseboat 5 years ago. And since dipping his toes into the life on board, his cost of living expenses have never been lower.
I think with rent, electric bills, council tax, I think I'd probably save about £1,000 a month, or take, because it's a simpler way of living.
But boat life does take a bit of work.
So we're at Bosworth Marina. It's my favourite marina on the old canal system. You can top your water up, get your diesel, and get rid of your litter as well. Just going to get the hose out, connect it up, and then start filling the water tanks.
Places like this marina help Mark live a bargain lifestyle, saving him thousands on bills and keeping him afloat financially.
This water will be for like washing up, cleaning your boat when I get round to doing that. This is a 1,000 litre one under here, so it's a pretty heavy tank, but it lasts up to about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Mark pays a one-off fee for water and a bunch of other stuff, saving himself a fortune.
It's all part of the Kettle River Trust trading licence. For me, it's around £1,000. That includes water, rubbish disposal, chemical toilet disposal.
Compared to what a lot of us house dwellers are paying, that's really smart.
So I look at it as if you've got a car, you're paying road tax, insurance. If you've got a house, you're paying obviously insurance, council tax. This is a floating home stroke vehicle.
Back in York, mistress of the home hack pram is about to get fruity. Remember those surplus strawberries she put in the dehydrator?
So these are done. So these will keep in a airtight container like a jar now for about a year, possibly more. I might want to dehydrate some of them a little bit longer because they're a bit thicker on the ends, but mostly they're done.
I'm more of a dried apricot man myself, but I suppose there's stuff you can do with strawberries.
You can add that to muffins or cakes or anything that you want strawberry flavoured, strawberry pancakes, anything at all. You can even turn it into sauce if you wanted.
And Pam hasn't had to fork out 30 quid a kilo in the shops.
I've still saved myself money doing this because I haven't lost the product I bought. And I've ended up with a new product that I wouldn't have bought necessarily because of the cost of it. So to me, it makes it all worthwhile.
Ka-ching. Next time, Wiggins Wheeler Dealers, Martina and Jamie mean business.
Anything that can make money, it's being bought.
Beverly's living the low-cost vintage life and loving it.
This has just made my day. I'm about to lose my mind of excitement.
And Super Saver Coco is upskilling it and killing it.
I went online, watched videos, a lot of them, plan to cut their hair.
So there you go, guys. Me again on TV. Ta-da! You poor thing. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll be asked to go back, but I could very well be asked to go back for next season, which could be a lot of fun. You know, I'd like to do some more. It was a lot of fun for me. Dehydrators are amazing, absolutely amazing. If you haven't got one, get one. I'm not even kidding. If you haven't got a dehydrator, get one. If for nothing else, all the veg you leave at the end of the fortnight or the end of the month or the end of the week or whatever, the fruit and veg that normally goes off and it ends up in the compost or it ends up in the bin or whatever, chuck it in your dehydrator. Chuck it in. Even if it's a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of something else. Do you know what I mean? You're going to end up slowly over time building up a really nice stock of things like diced carrot, diced onion and stuff that you can just chuck into soups or to stews, or if you have all kinds of different things, you can blitz them all down into a powder and have your own veg stock. You know? I mean, mine, I can actually make yogurt in mine and I can make beef jerky in mine hanging from the ceiling of it, which is kind of cool. So I can put hooks in the top, which is really kind of cool, actually. Yeah, they make powders with your dehydrated stuff. Oh my. Yes. Yes. The only thing I'll say about drying onions and garlic, take your dehydrator outside. Don't do it inside. Never do it inside. I can't even tell you. Like, I don't have an allium issue, okay, with onions and leeks and garlic and stuff. Tanny does. All right. Now, Tanny can't have a lot of... If you saw that man after he chopped an onion once, he looked like someone had thrown acid in his face. That's how bad his allium sensitivity is. Okay. But even when I did garlic and onions, I had to put the dehydrator outside. I couldn't have it in the house. It was absolutely awful. And Tanny wasn't even here. He wasn't here. But it was on for like, you know, it probably wasn't even on for an hour before I went, no, not having it. Yeah, everyone in the house has an issue with alliums. Absolutely. But yeah, so yes, they do cost a bit to run, but it costs you more money in throwing out the fruit and veg from the end of the week or the end of the fortnight or the end of the month or whatever, and the stuff that's going rotten at the back. Pull it out, chuck it in the dehydrator. Then you've got product that you've already got. So you haven't had to, you're going to replace that product anyway, you know you are, but you haven't wasted it. Do you know what I mean? That's the point. You've ended up with something else that's gone on your shelf, which maybe 6 months down the track, when you can't afford to replace all that veg for whatever reason, you've got a stock of dried stuff that you can just stick in a slow cooker and make an amazing soup out of, or stew out of, or whatever, you know? Do it. Honestly, just do it. I'm dehydrating dehydrated jalapenos tomorrow. I'll have the windows open. Dehydrators also give decent heat in the room, and if it is fruit, it's nice smelling heat. Anyways, yes. Pickled jalapenos. Yeah, see, I would love to do that. And I probably will at some point, but I've got to get some first or make some, one or the other. Probably have to make some when I grow some next year. Because if I put those in the trolley, yeah, Tanny would not be happy. He'd be like, what are you trying to do? Kill me? But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I would love to do. I will, because I've seen how excited you get about them, Daz. Seriously. So yeah, there we go, guys. This has gone on for another hour past what we normally do. Now, my next live, normally I do a monthly live where we just have a chit chat and stuff like that. Next week, unfortunately, hey, Tonya. Unfortunately, next week, which I would normally do it on a Tuesday, I have to keep free because we've had some stuff come up. So I kind of need to keep my week as reasonably free as I possibly can. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do it. I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to do it on the Tuesday after that, which will be the 18th. I'm hoping I can do it on the 18th. And then we can sit down and have a brew. We can do our brew with Blue, and that would be awesome. And then we can just hang out, right? So I'm going to go. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm going to go because I'm very tired. I've had a very long day. But this has been really awesome. I hope you got something out of the beginning half of the live, and I hope that you enjoyed the last half of it. I know that I had a lot of fun doing the stuff for TV. If I ever got asked to do it again, I would jump on them with a heartbeat, you know. So yeah, who knows what will happen in the future? I don't know. Okay, but I will see you guys later on. I love you guys heaps. I will be over on Tony at Kettle Kitchens live tomorrow morning for me, late night for you guys in America. You know, but I'll be over there at what would be, I think it's 5 a.m. my time, BST. So you guys work it out from there. I don't know, but he'll have a scheduled thingy up. So go and check it out. Anyway, I will see you guys later on. Have an awesome rest of your day. I love you guys heaps. Mwah. Bye.